because of the vagueness, that there are no facts as to the essential elements. So it's unlawfully and knowingly initiate, organize, plan, finance, direct, change, or supervise criminal gang-related activity. For that 3-month period, what else is he potentially liable for? At this point, the VR position, it's statutory language is so generic that it does not implement as to demonstrate what allegedly criminal acts he committed.
Okay, so listen, on this one, I've read the state's response. I'm familiar with those cases. I agree with those cases. The state tracked the statute. That's certainly enough to survive a motion to dismiss. The 4TCHES make their position on that very clear with this judge, even when this judge didn't agree. But be that as it may, nevertheless, I do note the references, as the defense points out, to statements of particulars. Based on that, I am going to grant it.
Melly's witness tampering trial officially kicked off today, and from the jump, it's already looking shaky as hell. Mel's lawyers walked into court stressed, clearly worried about how this trial is even moving forward because the prosecutors still haven't handed over the evidence they plan to use.
There was this kind of crazy way that Melly was communicating. He wasn't allowed to use the phone, but he was passing notes to people, and then this person's calling this person and then that person.
Saying like to me, they going through extreme measures, trying to cover up or convince people not to testify, like Mariah mom. They was using code words like Rihanna and A$AP Rocky's baby mom.
That's wild, because without that material, the defense can't properly prepare or even build a real strategy going into trial. The judge had to step in and remind the state that, in a criminal case, prosecutors are required to share all the evidence they plan to bring before a trial starts. That's the only way the defense can respond fairly and do their job. But as of now, nothing has been fully turned over, which has people asking why this case is even starting in the first place.
Mariah Hamilton is spending her first day at the Broward County Jail. She has no arrest record until now. U.S. Border Patrol agents arrested her at Miami International Airport Monday after she arrived on an international flight. Court records show Hamilton was ordered to testify in Demon's first trial in 2023.
And it doesn't stop there. Reports say YNW Melly's defense team has now filed motions asking a Broward County judge to block the jury in the witness tampering case from hearing about Mel's separate charges, arguing that it could unfairly sway the jury and poison the whole process from the start.
The state filing 6 new charges against Demons and 2 others who were allegedly involved. The charges include tampering with a witness, directing the activities of a criminal, solicitation or conspiracy to commit tampering, and unlawful use of a two-way communication device. Now, a couple of those charges actually carry a life in prison sentence if there's a conviction.
The defense isn't stopping there. Melly's attorneys are also pushing to block certain pieces of evidence before the trial even heats up. The main goal is simple. They don't want prosecutors telling the jury that Melly is facing separate serious charges because once jurors hear that, they might automatically assume he's guilty across the board. That kind of info can poison the room fast, no questions asked.
My son has not been convicted of anything, and even other inmates that have been convicted or anything, they have the right to use a telephone. They have a right to just to be allowed to write letters to their loved ones, to receive their mail. They hold his mail. They don't give it to him.
But here's the flip side. Prosecutors are saying they're sitting on strong evidence, and that's where things start getting tense. The case traces back to Jamel Demons, better known as rapper YNW Melly, who's set to go on trial January 21st over alleged witness tampering tied to his 2023 case, which ended in a mistrial. That mistrial didn't just happen randomly. It came down to one key issue. Melly's former girlfriend, Mariah Hamilton, never showed up to testify. Prosecutors were leaning heavily on her testimony, claiming she had crucial knowledge about what happened to Caesar and Juvie. Then suddenly, she left the United States, and on the very first day of trial, the state admitted they couldn't even locate her. YNW Juvie's father was furious. He later spoke out in an interview with Law and Crime, claiming there's way more behind the scenes than the public has been told. After being out of the United States for years, Mariah was reportedly homesick and decided it was time to return to her family. But the moment she landed back and submitted her ID at the airport, everything went left fast. Authorities were already waiting, and she was taken into custody right there inside the airport. No delay, no warning. It's widely believed that Mariah knows exactly what happened to SN1TCHES and Juvie.
When you saw Melly's statement, just saying how he's been hurt, how he's scared for his life. As a mother, how did that make you feel?
It's heartbreaking. It made me feel completely helpless. Broward Sheriff's Office definitely needs to be investigated. I mean, they are making up their own rules. We tried to go to court about this situation. The judge really doesn't have any jurisdiction when it comes to the jail, because we actually had a hearing about the mistreatment of him, and the jail they make their own rules. And I don't think that's fair, because I know that they need to answer to someone too.
But here's the real pressure point, and this is what really matters right now. Prosecutors don't even need her to break down the entire incident. All they need is for her to confirm that YNW Melly allegedly pressured her to leave the United States. If that claim sticks, it opens the door to a life sentence tied strictly to witness tampering, regardless of what happened in the original case. And the timing made things even darker. Right after her arrest, Mariah allegedly had an extremely rough experience in custody, with reports suggesting other inmates gave her nonstop problems, making the situation unbearable. Soon after, during her first court appearance, the judge reportedly laid out a deal, plain and simple. Testify against Melly, and you walk free. She didn't hesitate. She agreed immediately, cutting the judge off mid-sentence, sealing what could be the worst possible outcome for Melly as she headed back home.
So the first thing is I didn't have a firearm, so I can't know which firearm I'm going to use in order to replicate any of my tests. So I can't make tests for this determination because I don't know what firearm was used.
Okay.
Mariah even took to Facebook after everything went down, posting, "Thank you to my village. I love you all so much. God's plan, not mine." That post had people talking instantly. And according to reports, the reason prosecutors are leaning so hard on her is because of material they allegedly uncovered in her iCloud account. That data is said to connect directly to claims that Melly pressured her to leave the United States and avoid testifying, which is what ultimately triggered these new witness tampering charges.
The YNW Melly, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated. Yeah, I'm so happy he in jail getting mistreated, homie. Homie, when you take a life, homie, you ain't got a right to complain about a motherfucking thing about being mistreated. When you done chose to play somebody.
What makes this even crazier is that the witness tampering case is completely separate from the original case involving Sack Chaser and Juvie. That means Melly would still face that trial later this year, no matter how this situation plays out.
Melly's co-defendant YNW Bortland was booked into a Miami jail Monday night and is being held behind bars on an out-of-county warrant. We just confirmed the warrant is out of Broward County for witness tampering. The warrant obtained by Law and Crime Network states as follows. On or about April 10, 2023, continuing through and including July 22, 2023, Cortland Henry, aka Bortland, along with others, did unlawfully and knowingly engage in misleading conduct toward another person with the intent to cause or induce them to withhold testimony. The warrant continues the alleged witness had been summoned by the legal process to the jury trial of Jamel Dimmons, aka YNW Melly. The dates in the warrant are important. Jury selection for Melly started in mid-April, and a judge declared a mistrial on July 22nd, the same day the warrant claims Bortland allegedly tampered with the witness.
Because of that, Melly's legal team has been moving strategic and aggressive. They recently filed paperwork pushing for immediate release tied to an ongoing lawsuit against the county jail. Melly is suing the Broward Sheriff Office, alleging cruel treatment and extreme isolation, claiming he hasn't been allowed to properly see or speak with his family for nearly 3 years. That lawsuit sparked reactions online, with some rappers speaking out saying things like, "I like what I'm hearing right now. Shout out that boy Melly. Freedom." A lot of people are saying he's been locked in for way too long, and Melly's lawsuit is the reason that conversation is blowing up right now.
To keep it real, this is sloppy. Bortland, how the f you gonna have the notebook of the jurors in your house? Holy sh! Like, come the f on! It's like doing a and having the surveillance tape in your DVD player or something like that. You know what I mean? Like, come on, bro! Like they raid your crib and the surveillance footage of the is in your DVD player. Like, oh, okay, thank you, brother. This can't be at your crib.
According to his legal team, YNW Melly has been held in a freezing jail cell, barely given edible food, and allegedly cut off from real human contact for extended periods. That's a heavy claim, and it painted a dark picture fast.
The PC Gambino account asked him if he was okay, and his response was, "I did that," and placed a smiley face emoji.
And the next message from 10/26/2018 at 16:02 from Eastern Standard Time. The YNW Melly account says what?
After that, SHHHH.
An interview with Melly's mother added even more fuel to the situation. She described his daily life behind bars as disturbing, saying it feels like his conditions actually got worse after he was granted a mistrial. She sounded emotional, frustrated, and completely drained, stressing that her son isn't even being treated like a human being anymore. She went on to say she feels helpless watching this unfold, especially with no clear end in sight. She believes the system is breaking him down mentally and physically. But not everyone is sympathetic. The media jumped on it, and voices in the rap world spoke out too. Charleston White reacted by saying, "This is exactly how Melly should be living," arguing that fame shouldn't come with special treatment at all. People keep saying this case involves one of the worst allegations you can possibly face, and that's why emotions stay sky high around it.
Melly still turned regardless of what happened this early morning. He's still out here being very positive. Turned still. Hey! No, still turned. Regardless of what happened, you already know.
The situation even pulled in rap OG voices, including Boozy Badaz, who spoke on the pressure and stress Melly's mother has been dealing with throughout all of this. Now here's where things get interesting. With the trial still not officially starting for another couple of weeks, and with how serious Melly's jail conditions are being described, the judge actually allowed Melly's lawyers to argue why he should be placed on some form of house arrest until trial begins.
Can you state your name? Your full legal name for the jury?
Leon Phillips.
Okay. And are you related to one of the groups in this case?
Yes, I am.
How's that?
I'm his mother.
And who is that?
Christopher Thomas.
Ms. Phillips, did you see who entered into the occupants who entered into that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Do you recognize where your son entered that gray Jeep?
Yes.
Which seat, if you can identify for the jury?
He got in the back seat on the right-hand side.
Did you recognize the individual that got into the back seat on the left side, the rear driver's side?
Yes.
And who was that individual?
Janelle.
That alone shocked a lot of people. And this is where opinions split hard. The defense pointed back to moments from the original trial, including prosecutors admitting there was never a firearm recovered. That detail matters because it gives some weight to the theory that what happened could have been a drive-by, with the weapon leaving the scene. At the same time, prosecutors highlighted evidence recovered from another residence tied to the case, which they claim tells a very different story. Later, it was announced that investigators uncovered images and notes during a search connected to YNW Bortland. Investigators reportedly found detailed notes breaking down where certain jurors were sitting, plus descriptions of what they looked like. These were jurors from Melly's original trial, and prosecutors argue it showed intent, claiming those jurors were seen as a problem because they allegedly leaned toward guilt, with fears that YNW Bortland might retaliate. That discovery raised serious red flags fast. Then it was the prosecution's turn to explain why YNW Melly should stay behind bars. They pointed to text messages they say show Melly admitting involvement, putting those messages in front of the new judge as proof he already confessed. They also played video footage of Melly dancing in a parking lot with Bortland just hours after the incident, acting normal like nothing even happened. Prosecutors argued there was zero visible grief over the loss of two close friends. They also showed footage from about 30 minutes before the incident, where Melly was seen leaving the studio and later sitting in the back left seat of the vehicle, waiting as Sir, Juvie, and Bortland got inside. Court documents were then presented stating that the direction of items traveling inside the car supported claims they originated from the back left seat where Melly was positioned. Juvie's mother also confirmed Melly was there. Now it's on you. Would you release him or keep him locked up? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Like the video, subscribe, share it with others, and let me know how you feel. I'm reading every comment, and I'll see you on the next one.